Hello, welcome to Consciously Healthy. I'm Claire.
I'm Laura.
And we're going to talk to you today about detoxing in January.
Yeah, after the big Christmas splurge.
I'm not going to have a big Christmas splurge this year.
You're not, are you? I'll have two then. I'll make up for the fact that you're not having one.
You're going to have to eat Christmas pudding for me.
I'm here for you.
No, I'm not. I'm actually going to India. I'm going to India with my family, which I'm really excited about. And I think, there's still the possibility to splurge in India, but I think it's just going to be the breaking of the routine and not sitting down every night with a box set and a mince pie. Gluten-free, obviously, homemade, but, still, mince pie.
I'm going to miss your mince pies.
Yeah.
Maybe you should make a batch before you go.
What, just for you?
Just
right.
for me.
Okay, fine then. So, detoxing in January. Yeah, it's from a naturopathic perspective, the worst time of the year that we can detox is January. Do you want to talk people through the...
Talk them through what?
The kind of the cycle about when it's good to detox,
Okay,
liver,
so this
etc.
is...
You're the one with the fancy nutrition diploma.
Good grief. Okay, so this is looking at the Chinese traditional medicine theory in terms of balancing the body, not just from a nutritional point of view, but also from a seasonal, from a colour perspective, from an emotional perspective. And when we're in winter, this is actually the energy of winter is going inwards and it's hibernating. Actually, it's not about cleansing. Cleansing is much better to do in the springtime, when that, according to Chinese medicine, is when the liver comes into its own.
And it's a bit warmer.
Oh, the spring clean, that is when we should be really doing it. Sort of March 21st, which I think is the spring equinox. That is an amazing time to do any kind of liver cleansing or detoxing. So I think if we're talking about January detoxing, we're going to come at it from a slightly different perspective.
Yeah, and also autumn is around the autumn equinox is also a good time to have. That's when you're supposed to finish your cleansing. So if you're going to do any cleansing, sort of you want to, maybe try and detox a bit in the spring, maybe in summer. The kind of the optimum is to have finished detoxing by the equinox, by the end of the equinox moon.
Well, common detoxes are things like juice fasts, which they create a lot of damp in the body. So it can also make us very, very cold. And in winter, it is very cold. We need warming foods, which is our soups and our stews
And I think it's really impactful suddenly going from, the 12 days of Christmas of feasting, and let's be fair, a lot of people will sit there with the boxes of Quality Street or, whatever, and just, gorging actually to suddenly go on a strict, juice fast. I do recommend if people want to do a juice fast that they build up to it. There's also something really interesting here from a scientific perspective with juice fasting, and there are times we definitely would say give a juice fast a go, but actually from a detoxing perspective, a juice fast is not the thing to do, because if we're only consuming juice or say salads or vegetables, what happens is the liver has two phases of detoxing. There are two phases it goes through. The first phase is basically taking toxic chemicals in our body, so stuff that we've eaten or have come in contact with, so been exposed to pollution or what have you, breathed in, whatever, anything that's toxic to the body, it then breaks down and makes it non-toxic. That's phase one. Phase two is when it actually takes it's called the glucuronidation pathway, and it breaks it down even further into a liquid that can be excreted from the body. Now, what's interesting, so a juice fast allows the liver to do its phase one detoxing beautifully. Yes, lovely, I'm cleaning out the liver. But for the liver to do phase two detoxing, protein must be present in the diet. So if we must have protein in the diet, we could argue that there's protein in things like kale and other vegetables, but there's not a significant enough amount of them, particularly once you've juiced, because you've taken all the pulp out, to really allow the liver to go into the phase two detoxing. So we're actually not allowing the liver to cleanse by doing just a vegetable or salad or juice fast, because protein has to be present. So it kind of then starts turning the whole let's just make January about lettuce leaves and celery a little bit you know, it brings a different angle to it, because if we have to have protein present, otherwise we're going to end up with detox symptoms, you know, headaches, and the body's not going to be excreting the toxins, so they're all going to be built up. That's not where you want to be. So what we wouldn't recommend like a full detox, juice fast, go on a massive diet. Actually allow your body to come out of the feast, come into a period of normalizing. So actually get back to the kind of foods that you were eating around September, October, you know, just kind of coming into healthy foods. So your fish, meat, steamed vegetables, all of that kind of stuff, healthy fats. We always recommend a protein, a fat, and a carbohydrate. So by fat, we're talking about olive oils, coconut oil, olives, nuts, seeds, avocado, those kind of things. So you have your meat or your fish, you have your fat, and you have your healthy carbohydrates. So lots and lots of vegetables. And if you want to kind of get rid of those couple of excess pounds, then my recommendation would be to drop the starchy carbs. So avoid the beans, the grains, the legumes, the too much fruit, too many things like squashes and sweet potatoes and potatoes. I would be cutting out all of that and just going for your good protein, your fats, and your vegetables.
I also really like to choose vegetables that are in season, and fruits are not really in season around this time, so it's much more about sort of pickled fruits or stewed fruits. That's what the word I'm thinking of. And the other thing that I would...
So basically you can eat swede.
Lovely. Yeah, that's about it. And I think celeriac. I think that's kicking around in January. The other type of cleanse that I would recommend for January is an emotional cleanse.
Yes, lovely.
Because the winter solstice, which I think is 21st of December, is the time to, again, we were saying earlier, the time to go inwards, the time of deep self-reflection. And Claire and I are doing something quite exciting this year. We are going on a silent retreat.
I don't know how we're going to do that.
We're not going to talk to each other for 3 whole days. We're doing that over New Year, and I'm using it as a time of self-reflection around the winter solstice to be able to reflect on the year that has been and to clear out any stuff that no longer serves me so that I can move into the new year with some clarity. And so I'd be looking at the cleaning the diet up, definitely, for a January detox, but also making sure that you're maybe building some time in to be with yourself and just yourself, and
Absolutely.
to process some of the stuff that maybe has come up from the year before.
Absolutely. Yeah, really, really lovely. So that's the kind of detox we recommend. Obviously, great time to kick the alcohol into touch, great time to kick sugar into touch, because sugar creates damp in the body also, and also a great time to, sort of kick out too much caffeine or stimulants. So those are the kind of detoxes, but actually don't go crazy with the food. Rein it back in and clean it up.
And not go crazy with the exercise. It's coming back to this is a time of stillness, of reflection. Yes. So, looking for exercise that is more meditative rather than going hell for leather and running out in the cold.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you like our ramblings, subscribe to wherever it is so that you can hear more of them.
below.
Subscribe below. And check us out on Facebook, balancewellness.uk, and also our websites are balancewellness.co.uk and reclaimyourlifewithease.com. And we will see you next time.